Ready? How's everyone doing? I like it. We got one good in the corner. That's fantastic. It's a great start. Everyone who's not taken a seat, if you could come join us. There's a couple people I know behind the seats. Come and join us. Take a seat. There's some space up here. We've got a decent crowd, so thank you all for coming through tonight. Is this working yet? No, it's not. Slides should start working in just a second. But welcome everyone to Samsung King's Cross. For those of you I haven't met before, my name is Seven. I run this, Founders Live London, as well as lots of other stuff in the startup space. And I'm really, really excited tonight to be presenting you with 5 incredible founders, as well as a short fireside chat. I'm just going to run through the schedule really, really quickly so you know what to expect tonight. Firstly, so those of you probably all know this, this is one of the highlights of this event, Founders Live, is that it is a 99-second pitch. So we will have 5 startups presenting their idea to you tonight, ranging from kind of really early stage into the idea through to a few that are still early stage, but they might have raised some funding or something like that. They are capped at 99 seconds, and as you can see at the top, there is a 99-second timer. That is their timer, and they will be cut off at 99 seconds. So that's fun. Well, fun for them. Fun for you, not fun for them, sorry, I should say. After each presentation, we will have 3 minutes of audience questions. So if any questions come up, just kind of keep that in mind, and then we will have a roving microphone that will come around to you. When all of the pitches are complete, you will be scanning a QR code to vote for your favorite pitch of the night. So a little warning to you all, there are a lot of QR codes tonight. You'll be able to view all of the presenters through a QR code, and you'll be voting at the end for your favorite presentation also through a QR code. So those of you who, and if for whatever reason you don't have QR codes accessibility on your phones, there will be links on the screen. You'll just have to type them in, and it'll be a little bit annoying. But there you go. Sorry about that. And finally, we will be taking video and photos throughout the event tonight. Hopefully, we should have a kind of photography camera coming around during some presentations, but also, as you can see, there's a few cameras. So if you have any issue with any of that, just let me know at any point during the networking section of the event later tonight. There is one more thing. We're going to start the evening with a few thank yous. Then we're going to jump into a fireside chat before the presentation. So we're going to warm you up a little bit before throwing our presenters into the deep end on this nice big stage. So that's that. But first, before we get started, this is the classic please reshare and support us slide. Obviously, this is a free event tonight. Something I didn't mention earlier, actually, is that all the presenters do get a package of support from Founders Live London, as well as from myself. And the winner tonight gets a kind of increased package, and that's what you're voting to support them to do. However, it is a free event. One of the best things you can do to support us is by following us, tagging us, et cetera, on all of these things. So if you could kind of, take a look for me, for Founders Live, and show some love to this event. I'd really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Cool, I won't harp on about that. A couple of thanks to make tonight. First of all, to one organization who's supporting us called Orchid Ranch Consulting, ORC. They are offering actually some support to all audience members as kind of opportunity that you get to take part of as a result of coming to this event, but they're also including some support for the presenters and for the winner. They do lots of consulting, building, brand designing, things like that. So thank you, guys. If you have any questions about that, my man Milo is at the back. He works there. He's the co-founder there, so you can go chat to him about that. And obviously, before we move on to our fireside chat, a quick thank you as well to Samsung King's Cross for hosting us tonight. The team in the back, you guys have been really, really amazing, so thank you all so much, Michael and team. Cool, so that's us. We're going to get started with the fireside chat, like I said, to kind of kick things off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite Sam and Ryan to join me on the stage, where we're going to have a quick chat. So if you give a round of applause for these guys. And Milo, if we could get a microphone up here, please. Fantastic. We're just going to get you a quick microphone so people can actually hear you. There we go. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We should, cool. How are you guys doing?
Good, thank you. Good, thank you. Happy to be here.
Good.
Good.
Cool, cool, cool. Sam, you can keep the mic for now. Thank you both so much for joining me tonight. Both of you presented at the last Founders Live London event that we had, so I wanted to invite you both back up here to have a chat to you about your journeys, your progress, and your words of wisdom for other entrepreneurs who are here tonight. So if I could first of all get from both of you who you are, what you do, and really importantly, why you started on your journey. So if Sam, you could go first for us.
Thanks for having me. So my name is Samuel Ade. I'm the founder of Alana. We're a store for luxury black fashion brands and a platform for fashion designers to gain expertise. We started our journey in 2020 in the midst of COVID. We identified that there was a need, especially with black brands and accessibility, people wanting to access black brands. So we got started. And what's unique about us is that we're also a community for fashion designers. So from a consumer perspective, they can shop with the different brands that we have on our store, but from a fashion designer's perspective, they can join our community and receive free consulting through a 4-stage process. So we custom built the site over the period of 4 months, and we launched in November 2020.
Cool, thank you very much. So my name's Ryan, and I'm the CEO and founder of PitchLane, which is a software product that essentially helps salespeople to sell better with video. And it was just fixing the biggest problem I had at my previous job. And that was that using video was by far and away the most effective thing I could do in my sales processes, but it was so time consuming. So I thought there must be a better way, and that's kind of how PitchLane was born. And with that, we've kind of grown into a team of 2 and to 3 now, and we're just growing as much as we can to basically speak to as many people doing sales to improve the product and really just grow from there.
Ooh, thanks a lot, guys. I've got a couple questions for each of you individually, and then also a couple of questions for both of you. So first of all, Sam, let's start with you. You got into business, into entrepreneurship from a very young age, and you did it with this very strong social purpose, which you can talk a little bit more about as well. My question for you is, why did you choose entrepreneurship as your way of supporting your community and making your community a better place?
It just made sense at the time. So what Seven is talking about is I set up a social enterprise called Hustlebucks when I was 19, and we trained young people in garment printing and clothing, and we've done that for over 10 years under the umbrella of a charity called 198 Contemporary Arts and Learning, which was based in Herne Hill. And it was funny because it's something that I got into during my gap year. So we set up as a clothing brand, and mainly we were focusing on issues that young people faced within the community. So we did clothing around boys and girls, different themes that we thought were relevant to young people at the time. So I guess it kind of just spiraled into entrepreneurship. It just initially started off as a creative project, something that we wanted to do in the community to give back, and then it kind of picked up from there. Entrepreneurship seemed like the natural avenue to take in order to make the most impact.
Ooh. Oh. Well, no, thank you for that. My next question is for Ryan, but thank you. That's really, really interesting to me because I love being able to turn business into a way of making social impact. So I think that's really fascinating. Thank you. Ryan, you're also involved in entrepreneurship from a fairly young age. So my question for you is slightly different, is do you wish there had been more support for your kind of entrepreneurial endeavors in your life around you, and especially at a younger age? And if so, where do you think that support should have or could have come from?
Yeah, so I'd say I wouldn't say I'm 100% sure. I'd say like my personal inspirations for getting into entrepreneurship was around like my family. My father was a business owner, and that was one thing that impacted me the most. And I'd say the kind of support I think is most important. I think there's kind of 2 things that I've noticed. I think the first one is money. I think when you start a business, you're throwing yourself into a void. You don't know what's going to happen. You could leave in a month, you could be earning £10,000, £100,000, but you could also be broke, exactly. And that's just a natural part. And if you don't have a safety net, I think it's a very difficult thing to do. And I'd say the other thing that I've noticed is something around like self-limiting beliefs. There's a lot of people who I know would make amazing entrepreneurs who would really, really excel in entrepreneurship, but they don't seem to think entrepreneurship's for them. So and I think, again, it comes from that confidence in being able to jump into the void. For some, it's because they can't afford to, and others think that they can't and they won't be successful. In terms of what support I would have liked, I'm not sure exactly. It's quite hard to tell. I think in the early days of my business, it's still the early days, but I think I had a lot of worries around money and whether I was going to have to like get a job or other things. Whereas I think if I had maybe like a runway of 3 or 4 months, I would have been able to make more long-term decisions rather than ones where I had to prioritize like short-term financial gain. And I think those are some things that I'm paying for now still, which, it's worked out okay, fortunately, but that's been through a combination of other things that I've been very fortunate to have. Yeah,
if you don't have that right mix around you, you can get very lost, very confused very easily, and then especially as a young person who maybe hasn't kind of been able to build something up yet, you're then even more lost, but you're also maybe not feeling so empowered. And so their support can come from a number of areas. What I love about what kind of between the two of you, what your stories show us is you can be that support for other people the way you were, Sam, but that also that when you throw yourself in, there is something on the other side, even if you're like, I'm broke. Like, you know what I mean? So between the two of you, I think you're very, very empowering. So thank you for sharing your stories. For the sake of time, I'm going to jump to my last question for you so we can catch up a little bit, which is, what piece of advice would you pass on to other founders who are maybe newer or who are just getting into entrepreneurship? If you could choose one piece of advice to pass on, what would it be? Ryan, go for it.
So one piece of advice is that you can do it. Like, I've come across a lot of businesses that aren't even run particularly well, and yet they're still incredibly successful. I think just even having the inkling or just wanting to try, just absolutely go for it. I really think for a lot of people, there are so many people who could do it. It's just about taking that step into the void and just kind of accepting that you are going to feel like you've got no idea what you're doing, but that's completely normal, and you can get through that. And I think for most people, that's 100% true.
So do you mind repeating the question?
Yeah, of course. What is one piece of advice you'd pass on to other new founders or people getting into the entrepreneurship space?
Make sure you have a strong support system. I think it's absolutely vital that you build your community, especially as a founder that's trying to create a new path or do something new or pioneer. And it's important that you have a support system around you, people that can really, support your journey, encourage you, keep you motivated, because it gets really lonely. As a founder, it gets really lonely. And having a community that you can plug into and support you really helps during those lonely periods.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, and you're 100% right. I've spoken to so many founders who talk to me about their mental health, and that's one of the biggest standout things within that is even if you have a co-founder, or even if you have other people who know what it's like to go through the journey, you still feel kind of lonely in that space just because what you're doing is going to be at least a little bit completely unique in its own way. And so it feels, you know what I mean? So I completely agree with you there. Thank you for that, Sam. Cool. We have time to take a couple of questions from the audience, and we will have a roving microphone somewhere. Does anyone in the audience have any questions for Sam or for Ryan? Don't be shy. This isn't as big of a room as it looks. Yeah. Oh, is there one back there?
Thanks, guys. So my question's for Sam. So with the video product, I do a lot of video prospecting with Vidyard. So that's like my bread and butter every day, just on Vidyard, and I understand the pain of having to manually do that process. So yeah, it's interesting how businesses are born out of pains that you face in your own process. But it'd be interesting just to hear a bit more about how the product works and, yeah, what its strengths are.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. So yeah, I also was a massive fan of Vidyard. I think it's like an amazing new emerging technology. It's an amazing way to like connect with people. But as I'm sure you'll know, it is very tiring to record yourself over and over and over again. And essentially the way it works is you record one template video for all of your ICPs, so all your different customer profiles, and then PitchLane will pull out information about your prospect and use that to like auto-populate for each person so that it has a personalized video for them. So the main thing at the moment, and we're always trying to add features, is having their website in the background in a similar format that there is in Vidyard. And for each person, it's dynamically populated and it will like scroll through the website. And then we have other features as well that, around like reducing friction for booking meetings. So like having the calendar embedded like on the page so they don't need to go back to your email, your LinkedIn message. And soon we'll be adding like things so the videos can play natively on LinkedIn and stuff of that nature. Does that clear things up? Cool, nice.
Cool, thank you. And in hindsight, I probably should have had your names up here as well. Sorry for that, guys. Live and learn. Krimni, you had a question.
Hello. Okay, cool. Yeah, so my question is for the both of you. Obviously, as a fellow entrepreneur, we went through that. I guess everyone in this row has gone through like that kind of lonely phase. I guess what would you say is like the one major thing that you did to kind of break out of that?
I think it's one of the things that it comes and goes in waves. I wouldn't say necessarily I've broken out of it and it's something that's like gone, unfortunately. I'd love to say that it goes straight away. But I think for me, there's been like a few moments where I've almost been like fed up, where you just have those days where everything goes wrong and it all falls to you. And I think what Sam said as well about having a support system is really important. There have been times where like my friends have like really like given me that encouragement to kind of remind you of that bigger. I think the bigger vision, I think, is what's important. Whereas like when you get like bogged down in the day to day, if you have like that kind of thing to aim for in the future, for at least for me, that's kind of right. I can kind of park everything that's going on here and just really like remember why I started this and go from there.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing. It's about remembering your why. Why did you start up the business? What is your North Star? What are you aiming to achieve? For me, that really helps me when I'm going through difficult days or when I feel really lonely, remembering my why. And remembering that the vision is bigger than myself, that there is an impact that we're making in spite of the challenges that we're facing at the time. So yeah, that really does encourage me at them.
Cool. Thank you, and you're right. It's such a big deal. Founder mental health is such a big deal, and I could talk about it forever. I won't because we don't have the time for it. But yeah, let's chat after. But 100%, that's an important thing to be bringing up. Guys, for the sake of time, we're gonna have to move on. Thank you so much for sharing so much with us tonight. Thanks a ton. Big round of applause, please. And if you guys could bring your stools with you as well, just bring them off the stage with you, please. Because we won't need them anymore because we're going into the most exciting part of the night now, which is the presentations. So, it's working, there we go. So, I told you there'd be lots of QR codes. This is a big one. What this will do is this will take you to a web page which has more information about all of the founders presenting tonight. So you can have this up at any time. You will get more chances to scan this later as well. I've already told you how it's going to work. 99 seconds. Founders will be cut off, so no pressure. I say that there's a lot of pressure. Not really. One thing to note is that, like I mentioned, some of the businesses pitching tonight are at slightly different stages of business. What that means is that I encourage you not to vote based on who is the furthest or who's currently having the most impact, if that kind of makes sense. Instead, to vote based on your favorite pitch itself or what the business kind of is trying to do and if you want to support that. if you resonate with what they're trying to achieve, or if you love their idea, as opposed to, like I said, which business is currently doing best. So that's a little note on that from me. So without further ado, we're going to get started with our first presentation. So I'm going to invite Jyoti, founder of TaraCares, to come and join us on the stage. Take this. Oh yeah, you won't need it, will you? Because you don't have any slides. Right, I'm just going to take this with me awkwardly off stage. Working? Yes. Cool. So your 99 seconds starts now.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. My name is Jyoti Sharma, an Indian-British founder and CEO of TaraCares. TaraCares is a health tech startup that's addressing the public health challenge of menopause with artificial intelligence. Raise your hand if you've heard of menopause. Quick. Fabulous. Let's see if we can enrich your understanding a little bit. By 2025, 1 billion women will be experiencing menopause. That's 12% of the world's population. In the UK, currently there are 13 million women who are experiencing menopause. And contrary to popular belief, menopause is not just age-related. So what is menopause? Menopause is when a woman stops her periods and transitions from being fertile to non-fertile. However, I said it's not just age-related. So if you're in your 20s and 30s and assigned female at birth, as well as menstruating, you could be diagnosed with early menopause at any time in your life. What happens during this transition, which lasts for 7 to 10 years on average or more if you have early menopause, is female sex hormones start fluctuating and eventually stopping. This results in individualized, diverse symptoms, as well as secondary health conditions like hypertension, cardiovascular disorders. The list is endless. TaraCares is addressing these 3 key challenges in this space: misinformation, misdiagnosis, mismanagement, through our 3 innovation pathways that constitute our platform. Number 1, Awareness AI benefits individuals with individualized menopause profiles, tailored knowledge, as well as recommendations for clinical consultations, amongst other features. Number 2, Diagnostic AI helps clinicians to increase their velocity and speed and precision of diagnosis. Number 3, Management AI helps in hormonal therapy recommendations.
Right. Gonna have to cut you off there. Congratulations. Thank you so much. You've done a great job. So, come back up. You're not done yet.
Oh, sorry.
Like I said, you've got 3 minutes of questions.
Yes.
So, does anyone have any questions for Jyoti? We've got one up here, Milo. We're going to have a couple of roaming mics, hopefully.
I like that it's a man asking the first question.
Hello.
Hi there.
I was wondering, what is it? Is it an app or is it a website? So I didn't quite get across what.
Yes.
What it actually
We are starting with a digital health app that will start with the first innovation pathway, that's Awareness AI. One of the reasons I took it on is because this space is under-researched and underfunded, so there's not a lot of data that's available. So we are uniting academic research, clinical excellence, and computational science. So it starts with the digital health app, and that then gets embedded into these 3 innovation pathways that will constitute a platform to be used by individuals as well as primary care and healthcare providers.
Thank you.
Sure.
Cool. Any other questions? We have time for maybe 2 more. Yep, got one back here.
Another man. Amazing. Love it, guys.
I was just interested to know, how did you come up with this concept? How did you come up with the idea of starting up?
Yes. In my career, I've done 22 years of global technology transformation consulting. And my last job was with EY here in London. And I was at a point where I wanted to create more impact in the public health space. During the pandemic, while I was leading a pro bono initiative between EY, SAP, and Qualtrics for COVID-19. And I was looking for the most under-researched, underfunded area for impact. I thought I'll do a PhD, but I declined offers from UCL, King's College, and Monash in Melbourne, because for me, the scale and velocity of impact could be done only through a startup. And so that's how the idea originated.
Nice. Thank you. We have time for one final question. We had, the first hand was way in the back, Milo.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
How will you train your AI to understand the early onsets of menopause?
Yeah, so we are training the AI with data collection that we will do once we launch the app. That's number 1. Number 2, right now there's just one very big study in North America called the SWAN study, so we have that data available. Now the diversity of data for training and testing is key for us. So as you can imagine, it will take us at least a couple of years before we have all the diverse data that we need in order to train the AI. Hence, we'll start with the health app first so we can start disseminating validated scientific information to educate people.
Cool, thanks so much. That's all we have time for. A huge round of applause.
Thank you so much,
Jyoti.
guys.
Thank you so much. All right, cool. Next up, we're inviting a team onto stage. I'm gonna coming back up because I need to give them the clicker. Milo, where'd you go? Can we get 3 handhelds up here, please? Here you go. Milo's gonna bring you handhelds because there's 3 of you. We need to give you handhelds. So I'll let you introduce yourselves, and I will. All right, you ready?
Hello, hello.
They should all be on. There you go, testing, testing. Yeah, exactly. Cool. Right is forward. There you go. Cool. All right, your time starts now.
Foodable. Yeah. So at the start, we were just a regular recipe app, a utility more than anything. But when we started looking into what food really represented, the game changed. See, each and every one of us, food represents emotions, love, identity, community, culture, history. Once we understood that, as I said, the game changed. Through cultural exchanges, food becomes more than just about survival, but the celebration of life. Once we looked into that, then we started seeing the problems that food really came with and the lack of innovation by recipe apps.
When you open your fridge, do you ever get lost in knowing not what to cook or having a lack of ingredients and not making your next meal? How about when you're trying to be more creative in the kitchen? Let's say you got a particular South African dish you want to make, looking online, but you're not having no luck in finding it. Also, the rise in food prices in the UK has made it difficult in how we go about our day-to-day lifestyle.
So that is exactly where Foodable comes in. So we provide clarity with our AI-driven algorithm that gives you recipes based on the ingredients you have at hand. Our user-generated content also boosts the authenticity of each recipe, giving users the ability to upload their own recipes and potentially monetize from it. And lastly, features such as our food share and our discovery page helps you to stretch each pound, therefore combating those rising food prices.
Now, collectively, we have over 30 years of experience within operations, product design, financial, as well as having an amazing advisor, Tersha, who's killing it in the creator economy space. So join us
in making
simple ingredients
foodable.
And that's your time, guys. Cool, thank you so much. I love that you managed to fit all 3 of you in there. That's beautiful. Cool, we have time for 2 or 3 questions. So does anyone have any questions for the Foodable team? Come on, there's got to be, we got one up here.
So I have 2 questions, actually. So does the app tell me, like, what can I make with my ingredients at home?
Yeah. Yeah, initially. So based on your primary ingredients, you'd put it in, and then it will give you a bunch of recipes that you can make based off those.
Okay. Ones you can actually filter based on cuisine, dietary needs, all of it.
Okay. And you are 3 founders. Can you tell us a bit about your journey and how you decided to do that?
Go all the way back.
You want to go all the way back? Right. Okay, so Keanu and myself met at university. We both studied economics. I'll say this is probably like, 3 a.m. in the morning. We were just playing games, talking about life. And then it got to a time where we were like, bro, I'm hungry. So we just go to his kitchen, open up his fridge, his cupboards, everything. And I'm like, and I'm someone that loves to cook. Like, I'm known as the chef, as these guys love to know.
He is the chef.
Not known as, he is.
So we open my cupboard now, and a typical university student got some pasta, got like 1 carrot in the back of the fridge. I'm like, bro, what are we gonna make with this? And then that's where he comes up. He starts telling me about, I wish there was an app you could put this in, and then you just get recipes just based off what you've got. And I was like, that's interesting, actually. And that's where Dejanelle got told about the idea as well, and we all jumped on board.
Nice, cool. Question up here. We've only got 1 mic now, sorry.
Really good pitch, thank you guys. So with the proliferation of various recipe websites on the internet, how do you intend to monetize your particular app?
Okay, so we have three main ways of monetizing an app like this. As you heard in the pitch, it's more of like a social food platform. So one would be in-app advertising, so stuff like ads in between videos, ads at the bottom, like banner ads. The second one would be a freemium business model. So everyone can come on, they'll get access to the social sides, they can see everyone's recipes that they've uploaded and stuff like that. But features such as, like, let's say a weekly meal planner, let's say you've put in the recipes that you've got and you want to make a plan for the whole week based on those recipes because you've got some dietary requirement or you're just trying a diet, that would be something you'd pay a subscription for example. And the last one?
And the last one, we have actually a social commerce where creators can literally sell food-related products through the app to the general public and actually be able to, and we obviously take a charge. But more so for a creator, we actually have a revenue share model where when the creator uploads their recipes, and when I say creator, I'm not just talking about the ones you see on TikTok. I'm literally talking about your grandma, your grandpa, anybody, everybody literally just uploads it and be able to monetize those recipes.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, we have time for one more final quick one, if there's any burning questions. I don't see any hands. So, we've got one hand up here. There you go.
How did you find your mentor that you've got? And what sort of input did you get from them?
Oh, she gave us so much advice. Like, we will be emailing us, let's say at like 3 a.m. and then 4 a.m. she responds, we're like, oh wow, that quick. But she just gave us so much advice in terms of like where to move forward, how to, because she's part of the creator economy side of everything that she does in her industry. So it kind of gave us more of a drive and direction on where we're going and how far we can potentially push Foodable.
In terms of where we actually found her, we went to it was like a founders workshop, which was actually hosted by C Legals, and then she was actually one of the speakers. Literally after, we ran up to her and we said, we loved your pitch, loved everything, and as soon as she heard the idea and saw us three, she was like, I'm taking you under my wing.
I love that. Cool, thanks guys, that's all we've got time for, but a huge round of applause to Echo and team. Cool. Alrighty, so that's that. Cool, we're only 2 pitches down. We will get a break when it comes time for voting. We will have a 10-minute chunk of time, 10-15-minute chunk of time to vote, in case I forgot to say that. So sorry about that, in case anyone needs like a comfort break, it's coming. Cool, next up we have Irina from Zim Communications. Connections, my bad, whoops, sorry.
That way, right? Okay, you tell me when...
I will. All right, and your time starts now.
Okay, so when you're planning for a future travel, have you ever thought on how you're going to be connected? Right now, when you're at your travel destinations, you have 2 options. First, buy a local SIM card, or second, pay extremely expensive roaming prices. Both these options are seen to be inconvenient and extremely expensive, as the average traveler spends £18 per day just on roaming costs. eSIM technology is here to save the day. Along the years, we have seen SIM cards getting smaller and smaller, and in 2016, eSIM has been developed, which is a small chip already integrated into users' devices, which makes the whole process of acquiring a phone plan 100% digital. By using this innovative technology, Zim offers a solution that is time-saving, that improves connectivity, and offers our customer a digital experience where they will be able to compare and purchase a local eSIM plan in advance and activate it upon arrival directly through our platform. Right now, with our 4 partners, we are covering more than 150 countries worldwide. And for now, we are growing 28% on our B2C monthly. And on our B2B, we have a 30K sales pipeline through white labeling and web and app integrations. The bond that drives the team at Zim is our passion for traveling, and we all come from very international backgrounds. First, we have Ahmad, who is the lead developer. Then we have Julia, our CEO and co-founder, and then myself, I'm Irina, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Zim. Then we have 3 software developers, 3 in marketing, and 1 business developer. And finally, we are raising our seed round of 1.3 million for expanding our technology and reaching more users worldwide. Thank you.
Wow, fantastic. Good timeline. Cool. Questions. We have time for 2 or 3 questions. Does anyone have any questions? We got one up here, Milo. And then one over here.
Why did you start it?
Yes, so that was a funny moment of our lives for me and my co-founder. We were traveling to the Philippines just before COVID, a couple of months before COVID, actually. And we had the problem. We arrived, it was super hot. We just wanted to go to the hotel, change, and start the adventure. And we had to wait 1 hour in queue for SIM cards that ended up not working. And that's when our minds started working. We're like, we need to solve this. I mean, SIM cards have been around for 20 years. It was time for change.
Cool, thank you. You have one up here. One up here, Milo. Oh, that's fine. Let's just start. You can start in the front here. Sorry. Oop. Just gonna start in the front here and then move to you. Thank you. Go for it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thanks for the good pitch. So you say you're raising now. Is it your first fundraising round?
No, it's our second one. We are seed now. We raised our pre-seed in December.
I see. How's it going?
It's going quite well. We have really amazing investors, cap table that are backing us up. So we are looking for 2 more tickets from really, really cool investors in the sector, on people that are willing to back us up. We are, as you see, a very young team. So we do have an advisor that has been helping us out, and we would like to have more people in the cap table that is going to be there.
If I can do one quick follow-up, what's the worst part of fundraising?
Only one. The time you spend, the time you actually, as a founder, you have to spend 80% of your time when you are fundraising. So for example, for 2-3 months, I spend 80% of my time just fundraising, talking to investors. And most of the time, you never get it back, because most of the investors will say no, or they won't follow up. So I think that's it.
Oh, thank you.
Hiya, can you tell me how, when you tested at your beta stage, what approach have you taken?
Sorry, could you repeat?
You're testing, when you tested your platform at the beta stage, or the MVP, the initial stage, what approach you have taken?
So our approach, since we went global, with our 4 partners, we had 158 destinations. So we went global from the beginning. What we did is we tested actually at a big event, which was Web Summit last year. So that's when we released our beta, which us actually started talking to customers face-to-face. So that was our approach, basically just standing there with the customer and saying, okay, scan this QR code, try the connectivity, see if it's working seamless. And it did, and now...
I've got one more question. And how did you get 4 partners that early?
4 different partnerships. Yeah. So I think that was part conversation and part us approaching them. So on the part of the networking, so we went to these really big events, Mobile World Congress, Web Summit, where we met part of our partners. We also have on our cap table the director of Vodafone UK. So he has opened a lot of doors for us as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you so much. That's all we have time for, but a huge round of applause for Arena. Thank you so much. Boom. These do go by very, very quickly. Cool. Next up, we have Isaac from Sphere Tracks. And we'll give this to you. Round of applause for Isaac. Here we go. Cool. And your time starts now.
Hi, everyone. Great to be here this evening. So I'll start off just by introducing our team. So our CEO, who unfortunately couldn't be here this evening, he's worked for 35 years in the films, TV, games industries, Disney, Warner Brothers, you name it. He's worked with them, and we have a really strong, diverse team. So what is Sphere Tracks? I'm going to just lead you through kind of imagine you're a lead advertising agency, or maybe you work for Nike, right? You've got latest shoe you want to present, but you need a piece of music for your advert. At the moment, usually you have to go onto a website with hundreds of tracks. It's really complex, really difficult. How do you find that track that you want? Music is so diverse. It's really difficult to find. What we have done is we've created a solution where we have 150 tags, over 150 tags, and you can just drag, change. Okay, let's say I want a track. Okay, hip hop, a little bit uplifting, and I want it with a lot of percussion, bit of synthesizers. You can customize it exactly how you want it. This is powered by our custom AI engine. And look, so we've redefined the search experience for music. We have over 150 tags. You can drag and drop your video in, preview alongside. And we have immersive formats. There you go. I'm off the stage. And we have the most simplified licensing experience in the industry. I've got too many slides here. But yeah, we're currently raising. Please, I'd love to tell you more. Thank you very much.
And that is time. There is plenty of networking time after all the presentations and the voting is complete. So do come and grab Isaac as well as all of our presenters to chat to them. But are there any questions for Isaac? Got one in the front here. Go for it.
Thank you. Really big team.
Yeah.
Do you have nice inroads into the industry and getting those licenses?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously we have our CEO, he has all these connections, various different, he's BBC, ITV, but we also have a great team of advisors. We have the global business lead at TBWA, which is one of the largest advertising agencies in the UK. And yeah, so we have lots of great inroads, both with the team and our advisory board. Yeah.
Cool, great.
Oh, just over here.
Are you seed or pre-seed?
We're currently pre-seed, actually. We've just started our round. So, yeah.
And you've managed to get that many advisors at pre-seed?
Yeah, I mean, we started off in Incubator Block Dojo. We have Jan there today. But actually, we've found that we've been very product focused from day one. So we actually have a working product already, and we found that's drawn a lot of interest. And we have team members and due to just focusing on the product from day one. Yeah.
How are you using how are you using your product to gain traction?
Well, I get my laptop out, show them a live demo. I always think if you can show a really strong product, it speaks for itself in a way. So yeah, just showing it to investors or to people we want to work with.
Thank you.
Oh, we have time for one more. Yeah, just in the back there.
Hi. So I saw you was looking to raise 250,000. Is that
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
What's that kind of for in terms of your expansion? What's the vision, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, so we have quite a large build. We're already very quite way through. But it's build, it's marketing, it's sales. So we're a worldwide business, sales in other countries, things like that. Just those three main key categories. So build, marketing, and sales.
Cool. Thank you so much. That's all we have time for. Huge round of applause for Isaac. Thanks so much. Thank you. Cool. And we are down to our final pitch. Last but absolutely not least is Kunmi from Soraire. Round of applause for Kunmi. There you go. All righty. And your time starts now.
2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh, yeah, you should be good. Go for it.
All right. Firstly, I want to take you all back to 2021, a time when myself and my co-founder were researching the best industries to apply autonomous technology to. Now, we both come from technical backgrounds. I studied robotic engineering at the University of Birmingham. My co-founder, however, studied aerospace engineering. But I transitioned more into sales, business development, and operational roles. My co-founder graduated with a first in aerospace engineering, and he's also a full-stack software and hardware engineer and embedded systems engineer. Now back to the research. We found e-commerce fulfillment. That was a very neat industry, I'll call it. Amazon is in that industry, as you may know. And what we discovered is typically they don't have their own in-house distribution system. So this means they need to rely on third-party courier services. Now, because of the inefficiencies of final mile deliveries and the high labor costs associated with it, same-day deliveries are not so accessible and they're not so affordable neither. So upon hearing this, we thought, bingo, we have the exact industry we want to go for. After some market validation, some customer interviews, and some R&D, we came across a concept called the autonomous distribution as a service model. It's a mouthful, I know, but this distribution system allows us to actually provide all the infrastructure to e-commerce fulfillment companies so that they can build their own lean in-house distribution systems. We believe by providing an autonomous, localized distribution network powered by autonomous vehicles is the best way to help our customers lower their cost per mile
expand their profit margins, and also leverage their branding cost.
That's where I'm going to have to cut you off. Sorry, man. Good job. Round of applause. Cool. No, hold on to it for now, in case someone has a question that makes you flip back to another slide. So, any questions for Kumni? We've got one from Ryan up here. Milo's running around with the mic. There we go.
Cheers, thank you. That was really interesting. I saw there was a slide on a funding round. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about that, what you're kind of hoping to spend it on, where you're at, and just like an update on that.
Yeah, so we actually raised SEIS funding some months ago, actually. This round is about a 1.2 to 1.5 million round, and that's to execute our trials with our trial customers, launch our actual model, and also reach 10K of monthly recurring revenue as well, in an overview, high-level sense.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Cool. Any other questions? We've got time for two more. Yep, got one in the middle here.
What altitude you're using for your drones?
What? Oh, sorry,
what altitude?
Oh, okay. So the Civil Aviation Authority, the regulators of the airspace. So for us, we're in a specific category where we can't go above 400 feet. So our drones are going to have to stay within that limit, but they can't go lower than 200 feet neither. So we have that 200-foot gap that we can fly our drones in.
Okay, thank you.
Anytime.
Cool. We have time for one more.
I think we had Sarah in the front.
Oh, yeah.
What's the worst part of fundraising?
Something tells me you're fundraising right now.
You know, for me, what's the worst part, actually? You know what it is? I think maybe the worst part is actually just the... Actually, no, I can't really... I don't know, because I like fundraising a bit, you know? What? I kind of like it, because I get to speak to new investors. You know, I get to hear their feedback. I get to understand a bit more about what they're looking for. Then I can go back to the drawing board, understand a bit more about how we're going to reach those, I guess, those metrics. And then when I come back to them with a smiley face and I say, all right, you know, it's time. Where's the money? It feels good. So, yeah, thank you.
I love that. That's a great way to go about it. Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So that was Soraire. I'm going to leave this up for just a second in case anyone wants to scan it one more time. This is to have more information about the founders. I see a couple people scanning, so I will give you a quick sec for that. So this is not the voting link. That will come in just a minute. So, like I said, we're going to have 10 or 15 minutes for voting. In a minute, I will give you a different QR code, although actually the link is also on this page. It should be, so you can find it there if you've got it up too. I don't see, oh, sorry, I saw one more person scanning. If you want that information link. You'll have about 10-15 minutes to vote. Obviously, you don't have to sit here while you're voting because that'd be a little bit awkward. So you're going to have 10-15 minutes. You can stretch your legs, go to the bathroom, grab some snacks, whatever you want. This is the link for voting. So this will take you to a simple voting form where you pretty much just choose the person that you want to support tonight. Like I said, I encourage you to vote based on what you resonated most with or the business you most want to support because people are at different stages of their journeys. So this is going to be left up here for about 10 minutes. In fact, what time is it now? It is 19:04, so it's 7:04. So we're going to come back at 7:15 right here where we're going to announce the winner. So thank you all so much. Enjoy, and if you've got any questions, come let me know. Cool. Thanks, everyone. Hello, hello. Can everybody hear me? Yes, you can. We're going to start coming back where we're going to announce the winner. I'm actually going to close voting by doing this. We're closing the voting. If everyone could come back, take your seats, come back around here. And if I could get all of our presenters tonight to come back to where you were sitting as well. You'll have plenty of networking time in a bit. You have another hour or so of networking before we get kicked out. So we just want to wrap this up and see what's what. All right, this is pretty much everyone back. So it was actually a really close race, which is really interesting. And this is what always happens at these events where just everyone does really, really amazing. So firstly, before we announce the final winner of tonight's event, I'm going to put this down. I don't need it in my hand. I want to say a few thanks quickly. Firstly, a thanks to everyone for attending. You've been amazing to have here tonight. You've been really, really engaged. You've asked some great questions and things like that. And just, yeah, continue coming to the events. Stay signed up. You'll definitely hear more from me about future ones. A huge thanks to all of our presenters tonight. You've all been amazing, as well as Ryan and Sam for our fireside chat. Thank you guys so much for everything you shared. One final thanks to the Samsung King's Cross team. You guys have been really, really amazing. And again to Milo as well for helping out. I know where you've gone. You're in the back there. Cool. So that's what my thanks out of the way. We're going to announce the winner tonight. The winner, when I announce you, can come up here and join me on stage for a quick picture, if we've got the camera somewhere, for a quick picture. And then that's how we'll end it off, and then we'll have about an hour of networking. So if I could get a drum roll, please, from everybody. Yeah, I like it, I like it. And the winner of Founders Live London, October 22 is Irina from Zim Connections. I almost got it wrong. Come and join me. Congratulations, you did fantastically. Do you want to pose for a picture? No, on your own. I'm not part of your team. Yeah, actually, that's fine. Team? You've been put on the spot now. You have to come. You have to come up. This is for LinkedIn. That is important. There we go. Round of applause. Woo! Cool. Thank you all so much. So you will receive more information from me after the fact, but congratulations. So that pretty much ends the presentation tonight. Again, massive thank you to everyone who came through, all your support, and a huge congratulations again to everyone who pitched, because it was actually a really close race. You all did really, really well. So that's it. If anyone wants to come and take pictures in front of the screen, please feel free to when it's done. But now we're into networking. You will all hear from me after this via email, and obviously all of our presenters, you should hear from me tomorrow. Hopefully I have time tomorrow. You should all hear from me very, very soon with your kind of rewards packages. So congrats again to all of you. Cool. Thank you all so much, and have a great rest of your night. We're here for about an hour, so enjoy. Thank you, everybody.